Hi there everyone, happy Tuesday, hope you're well, hope you've had a good Tuesday so far, and I hope you're going to have an even better Tuesday evening, whatever that is for you, okay? So this is your general tarot reading, no fixed sign, no fixed subject. We'll just see what is coming up, and firstly we are going to have a look at what colour is going to be coming up at the end. So I'm just going to give these a shuffle now. Happy new moon in Taurus, a good day for grounding. It's a really, really nice new moon actually to start to get manifesting. So write down everything you want on a list, keep it, and keep the vision, keep the goal. It's interesting what came up today actually, the card. I think it was ambition, I can't remember, but it was all relative. Anyway, so let's get started. Have a sip of my tea. And we'll see what is coming in. So I'm just going to connect now and ask what is coming up for my questioners. First card, so you are the questioner. You are the King of Swords. There's no male or female in tarot, so if you're a woman watching this, it doesn't mean it's not for you, it's just the energy. Actually, what it does mean, it could mean you're embracing more of your masculine energy. So whilst we can be diplomatic, we can be understanding, we can be reasoning, there is also a place for boundaries. There's a place for not doing something because you don't want to do it, and facing things head on, guys. He's the only king in this deck that is facing forwards, okay? So you're charging ahead, basically, not charging ahead and not knowing what you're doing, but you're becoming more kind of objective with your thinking. So sometimes this comes up through just after a time of foggy mind, not knowing where you're going, not thinking about the next step type thing. But when this comes up, then that all changes, okay? So the King of Swords is showing that your thinking is going to be a lot more in a certain direction, okay? So he's on his throne there, meaning he's put himself on there, which is great. And the clouds there, the confusion will be starting to part. So you're going to sense a lot more clarity, you're going to see a lot more clarity, but it's had to come through your own sense of thinking, okay? On another level, this could be you doing something in the legal field. So you could be studying whatever that is with the courts, but that's not for everybody, obviously. So nice place for you guys to start off with. Outside influence does not mean you're influenced, but you've got the Hermit, so you could be dealing with a Virgo. If they are not a Virgo, then what this means, guys, if this is a person, a situation, they feel kind of lost, you know. The Hermit is this soul-searching energy, so they might not know what they want anymore. They might not know what direction they're going to go in. They might not see their own light. You might have tried to do that, which is something which could have caused you more of a foggy mindset, but now you see the wood for the trees. So on an energy level, whilst they are both extremely different, this is more on a day-to-day practical level, this is more on a spiritual level, okay? So whether or not you have focused on other things like money, work, home, that type of thing, and not put much energy into anything else, then this is what that would mean, okay? The Hermit is somebody, it can be quite a lonely character, you know, so it can mean like whilst they might have a lot of people around them, they might look like they're having a great time, on the inside that they feel quite lonely. If this isn't a person, then what this would be is around about September time, whatever you're wanting could happen up until September time, or in September, or maybe a little bit after, because the King of Swords is a Libra energy, which is October, all right? But again, let's not focus too much on the time frames. But the Hermit, if it isn't anything other than a situationship or relationship, this would mean that your surroundings are going to be, it's almost like things have to go a bit slower for you to understand why certain things didn't work out, why certain things are working out, why certain things might be going faster, why certain things are going, you know, kind of a bit of a slower pace type thing. But it's going, this is just before the start energy, which is that karmic wish. So you're on the right track, guys. If you're not asking about a person, this is showing you're on the right track, but it's also asking you to know, are you doing too much for other people? I wouldn't think so with the King of Swords, but there's just a bit of residual energy coming up here where you could potentially lose yourself because of expanding yourself, spreading yourself too thin type thing, okay? But two strong energies. So the Hermit is clearly a major arcana. The King of Swords is a court card. So this is interesting so far. We'll see what else is coming up in your position. I also feel with the King of Swords, there's been, okay. There's been a defensiveness from you, okay? So whether or not that's because of certain behaviours or actions of other people, you're not putting up with it anymore. And whether or not the outside influence knows that, which is why they're coming up as the Hermit energy, we will see. But what has come up in your position is the Hierophant. So if this isn't a situationship or relationship, guys, the Hermit and then the Hierophant is a really, really beautiful combination, because it's showing, you know, I said some things might be taking its sweet time, some things might be going a bit slower, but in the end with the Hierophant, it's going to be that sweet bliss, because there's just a change in dynamic with your soul path, with how you feel about things, and your need to do something will be different, say, when it was 5 years ago. You're not obtaining anything. You're not trying to get anything physically. You're trying to get something emotionally, spiritually. But because you're the King of Swords, it's not going to be from a place of need. So you're not like showing up as, say, for example, the Five of Pentacles, where you feel left out in the cold. But the Hierophant, this can be teaching. So you could be teaching something to other people. So whatever you're training in, if you are training, the Hierophant is a good omen for you to have here, okay? So I just feel you're going to be listened to a lot more. Doesn't mean like you standing on a massive platform talking to everybody. Can be. But this is also just saying the good prevails so far. And we have to keep in our faith, we have to keep with our vision, we have to keep with our understanding, we have to keep with our goals, not swaying to accommodate all the time. And the Hierophant energy comes in, okay? Because I don't know, it's funny, isn't it? Have you ever been in the situations where you think, had I just gone down my own path and not tried to accommodate somebody else or a situation because I thought it was right, I'd be there by now, or I'd have done this by now. This is what it's saying. So it's saying don't do that anymore. You have turned, one has turned basically with the King of Swords, and with the Hierophant coming up in your position as well, it's really beautiful energy. So it's like you're using your spiritual self and your mind self, your logical thinking, and fusing them together, and it's going to create something extremely beautiful. The Hermit, if this is a person, guys, you can't do much about it at the moment. You can lead a horse to water and all that jazz, but you can't make them drink, can you? So maybe you're just a bit fed up with it all. King of Swords. Underneath the King of Swords, what is coming in? Because you ain't budging. So, the High Priestess. Look at this. 3 majors. The Hierophant and the High Priestess are a couple in tarot. But they're both in your positions. So you're coupling up with yourself, okay? But that just basically means that you're starting to earn yourself a lot more. You're starting to acknowledge that it's all good, you know, it's not an external factor that makes you happy. Again, with the clouds in the distance, with the King of Swords, that mind fog, you get some clarity. The High Priestess shows you're using your intuition a lot more, but the intuition seems to come in after you start to get a bit more objective, rational thinking first. So the human thinking, the getting things in order, the getting the plans together happens first, and then the spiritual end comes in after that, okay? But also what I do want to say with the High Priestess, you're not budging with something, guys. So if this is a person, you're not reaching out. So you might be waiting for somebody else to get in touch with you, okay? Or you might be waiting just to see how things play out. The Torah on her scroll there basically is Japanese for tiger, and tigers pounce when they are ready. You don't see jumping all around the place. They wait until their time is right. So that's exactly what you're doing here, okay? Waiting for the time to be right, but also at the same time knowing you're worth more to not substitute yourself either, okay? If this isn't with regards to another person, then you're standing in your own spiritual ground. This is exactly what that means. You do not prove yourself to anybody. You do not explain yourself to anybody. You just keep doing you. You might be doing courses which don't seem run-of-the-mill. They might be tarot courses. They might be crystal healing, whatever that is, but you're just doing it, and it's something that's always been embedded but may not have come to the surface or kind of manifested as anything else other than something you've just maybe spoken about, okay? But you're getting it together first. Good. Underneath the Hermit. Oh dear God. See, this person, if this is a person, they're a big paradox. 5 of Swords. So they know. They know they've got soul searching to do. They know that they're probably not the most happiest character in the world, but at the same time, spite. Hard done by. Last word type thing. Maybe because they're not getting a reaction out of you. Well, that's the way so-and-so wants to be. I can be like that as well. Which is a shame, because the Hermit is such a beautiful energy. People will take themselves off their destined path by free will because of triggers, human reactions, and this is exactly what this person is doing. Do not waste your time, guys. Someone's trying to be hurtful. If you get a message and they say, well, actually, blah, 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 blah. Remember the tiger? Don't pounce just yet. You might get a message from somebody who might try and trigger you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it clarified. I'm going to ask, why is the 5 of Swords here? Why is the... dear me. Dear me in a good way, but you can... People waste so much time. They really, really do. Somebody wants to message you to reconcile. Page of Cups, 2 of Cups. Cups energy, but they're holding it all in and coming across as a bit of an idiot. Underneath the surface, see, as above, so below. As above the 5 of Swords, the Hermit. As below the 5 of Swords, the Cups energy, the emotion. What everyone sees, what they give out, this, defensiveness. If you're wondering if a person has forgotten about you, no, they haven't. They want to message you. I'm not going to read it, guys, as anything other than a person, because that's very heavily linked to another energy, okay? The only thing I could say, if this isn't linked to a person, it would be some sort of surprise message with regards to collaborating with somebody that you don't know yet, okay? But the 5 of Swords doesn't really belong in that. So I'm going to read it as another person, okay? It's just, you know, what you're doing at the moment is frustrating them because you're not reacting, okay? You've taken some sort of power here, I can see that, but it's just let it play out. So I'm glad I got to clarify for that. So let's have a look and see where the Hierophant, underneath the Hierophant even, what is coming up for you. I'm going to do another one. Ooh. Got the Knight of Pentacles. The slowest moving of knights, however, not everything needs to be fast. The High Priestess certainly isn't a fast energy, and neither should you be. So you're getting to where you need to be, because what's coming in after that is the King. So you've got the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. You are heading in the right direction. So whatever this King of Swords energy is, where your logical mind is taking you, you need the clarity first and the spiritual secondary. I mean, always feel into situations, feel into what's right and what's wrong for you. You know, meditate if you need to, stay aligned, make objective, sensible decisions, and everything will just fall into place. It really, really will. The Hangman is also suggesting that. So there's clearly a lesson here, guys. 14-14 when I said that. 14-14. I'm going to look at that in a minute. So the Hangman. This may seem like a long way off because the Hangman is waiting around. The Knight of Pentacles, like I say, it's slow. So don't be dismayed by, oh, it's not happening yet, because it certainly will do, okay? It will show itself. And the beauty about the slow burners is that it doesn't prove itself. Remember the High Priestess, the Hierophant, they do not do anything to prove themselves to anyone or anything, and neither should you, especially if this is the person, you know, like, why should you? How many times have you explained yourself? You know, they're seeing you as the High Priestess energy. So they're seeing you as somebody who's not doing absolutely anything to get in touch with them. They don't know what you're doing. So let's have a look now, and let's see as an overall clarifier. But this is nice, guys. This is nice. Sitting pretty is the Queen of Pentacles. Look how chilled out she is there. It's interesting because you've got the King of Pentacles coming up here. Pentacles. Okay, so it's good omen for your money. I think, guys, that some of you are realizing you don't have to work for anybody to achieve your dreams and goals. You can do it all yourself. You have all the tools you need to make it work yourself. Your passion, your interest is enough. That alone, that is your fuel. And when you move forwards with that, you will always find a way, but it won't be overnight, which is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so if you're asking about a person, then they see you as the Queen of Pentacles. They feel you as the Queen of Pentacles, but they also see you as the High Priestess, meaning they think you're just getting on with it. You're earning your own money. You're not doing anything. You're not bothered about them anymore, and they're more bothered about it than what you really think. Okay. Find your center, keep going, doing what you're doing. You are doing great. What color did you think of? Yeah, black. Find richness from the dark night. You know, I said before, your dark night maybe could have been where there's clouds are really fogging your mind up. You didn't know, you weren't experiencing clear thinking. It was all a bit foggy, and now you are coming out of that on the other side. So what is your richness from that? What have you learned from that? Maybe you've taken someone off a pedestal. Maybe you've not put too much emphasis on what we call the daily grind, and realize you can detach yourself from that and still be your own soul, still earn your own money. It's just going to take a bit more work. It's going to be a bit more slower, but that is your richness because you've experienced it from the dark night energy, which is something out of alignment, but you still got through it anyway. Okay, guys, that is your reading. I hope it resonated. If not, catch me on Sunday. I will be doing a Sunday reading. Tell you something though, let me show you this. I bought this today. This is an amazing piece of amethyst, and this is going by my bed. The new moon energy is going to hold it in there, and I'm going to have some amazing dreams. That's what I do. Anyway, leave it as that. To book in for a private reading with me, send me a direct message. I offer half an hour or 1 hour, and I will let you know my price and availability. Did I just say that? I'm sorry if I did. Guys, I'll leave it there. I'm waffling now. So you take care, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.